He specifically said that if you feel like dying, then let yourself die. I couldn't move my legs, and I was just like, I don't know how that breathwork can do that, but for some reason it unlocks something within you. It unlocks this like floodgate. So one day I was scrolling through Instagram and I found this guy named Witalij Martynow. I'm so butchering that, but I came across his Instagram, and what was alarming to me was all these people in a room screaming and crying and laughing, and I got curious about it, so I clicked on it, and lo and behold, it's a breathwork session. I've done some breathwork sessions in the past, but nothing that seemed as intense as what he was offering, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. He's coming to Boston in like a week, and I booked a ticket for me and my boyfriend, and we went. So I've done a breathwork session that was sort of similar in length, and it lasted about 45 minutes long, but I've never done anything quite as intense as what he offered. So basically what happened is that we're there in this grand ballroom at a hotel in the middle of Boston with maybe 100 other people. We set up our yoga mats, our blankets, and everything, and he introduces himself and he tells us his backstory, how he became a breathwork practitioner, his journeys on plant medicine, and the traumatic events in his past that led him on this journey of healing. It was cool to get to know him on that level because I had no idea who this guy on the internet was. And so him just kind of opening the whole ceremony on that note made me feel like I could trust him. But he gives us a rundown of what's going to happen. Basically, we're going to be laying down with our eyes covered. We're going to be following certain rhythmic breath patterns, inhales and outhales that he's going to lead us through. And what's going to be accommodating his guidance is music that also sets the tone and the pace for our breathing. So basically we start off, pretty gentle, deep inhales and exhales. And what's most important is getting as much oxygen in your body as possible and then releasing it. And so we start off like that, and eventually he starts to pick up the pace. The music starts picking up the pace, and at this point, bro, I'm maybe 5 minutes in, my entire body becomes all tingly. And this has happened before in the past, in my past breathwork sessions, where I kind of just would seize up. But I've never gotten to that point before where I literally felt like I couldn't move at all at a certain point. But I was like, you know what? I paid $100 for the session, so I'm gonna go all the way. A thing that really helped before anything started, he said that, we were gonna go through a lot of different kinds of emotions that we've been storing up in our bodies, And he specifically said that if you feel like dying, then let yourself die. And I think when he said that, it actually helped me a lot and helped me realize throughout the session, especially moments during extreme discomfort, I could just surrender to the discomfort, because I've been in those states before where I feel like dying. So I'm quite familiar with that. But it helped that he said that at the beginning. But anyway, 10 minutes in, the breathing is picking up pace and stuff, and at a certain point, my arms are just like this. I think my fingers were out for some reason, and my arms were like this, couldn't move them. I couldn't move my legs. And I was just like, it actually got to a point where I was like really scared that I would be stuck in that position forever. And it actually started to hurt a lot. Like my arms especially tensed up a ton. And throughout the breathing, I actually realized that I store a lot of anger in my arms, because in the past when I've gotten angry at someone or a situation or whatever, I'd want to punch something. Like I don't ever do it. Maybe like I punch a pillow or the wall sometimes. I'm not like doing it to the point where I'm like putting myself in danger, so don't worry. But yeah, I just feel a lot of anger stored up in my arms, and I just want to like. And I also used to do Muay Thai, so it's like I used to just like get out all my anger that way. But I haven't been going for a long time, so yeah, I just felt so much tenseness in my arms. And I was like, you know what? I'll just breathe through it. I'll just breathe through it. Just feel it, breathe through it. Feel it and breathe through it. But like it got to a certain point where I didn't want to feel that anymore. So I screamed. I was like, ugh! Screamed in frustration. And the moment I did that, I swear to God, my arms started loosening up slowly. Like, I felt it loosen up in real time, and I'm like, oh, that's what it is. It's like, you not only do you need to feel what's going on, your anger, your sadness, you need to express that somehow, you know? And since I was like all tensed up and stuff, like the only way I could express that was vocally. And then I was like was like laughing and crying and like going through all sorts of emotions. But what breath work in general has really helped me get back in touch with is like my self-worth. Just like very simple to the point truths that we tend to forget. You're safe, you're good, you're loved, and what your job is to be you. Be you in all of your glory. Be you to your fullest extent every day. We lose sight of that a lot, you know, we lose sight of those simple things. So yeah, so he's leading us through. I'm laughing and crying, everyone around you. It's like a ripple effect. Everyone starts laughing, crying, yelling, screaming, and there's just this whole chorus of emotions just starting to like happen in this room. And then the energy was so intense at times. The music started picking up real quick, and then honestly, the main emotion I'd say I released and I felt through this session was anger. I feel like I've been really angry this year. And it scares me sometimes, because I think anger is an emotion that we're all afraid to express. It's like anger can kind of be associated with aggression, and that can be associated with violence. I never really had a way to healthily express my anger, so it would come in outbursts sometimes in my past relationships and stuff. Sometimes I find myself holding it in because I don't feel comfortable expressing it, or, you know, it just little things kind of irk me, and then I don't say anything, and then I bottle it up. But I didn't realize how much anger was inside of me until that night. Until I freaking just screamed. But what is really cool and unique about his breathwork sessions is the different rhythms and stages he leads you through. It starts off gentle and slow, and then you slowly get into it, and then it gets really, really intense. Then you're holding your breath for some time. And then at some points, they're like such pure feelings of peace and like bliss that happen throughout it too, which is really cool. It's hard to like explain what happened in a cohesive way because it all feels like this blur of so many waves of different kinds of emotions that came up. And there wasn't anything necessarily specific that came up, but just, how much I love my family and my friends and my partner and myself, which has been a very long journey for me. Yeah, I love the style in which he does it because it really gets in the core. I don't know how that breath work can do that, but for some reason it unlocks something within you. It unlocks this like floodgate of like emotions that have been stored away for so long. I don't know how the hell the breath can do that, but it does. And it's just really cool because, we're seeing all these modalities of healing cropping up now. And a lot of, plant medicines and even psychedelics and all those other like medicines that can assist us through our healing and our expression of emotion and our feeling. And I think what healing really is just like allowing the emotions to come up, allowing ourselves to sit with them and feel them, and allowing ourselves to express them in a healthy, safe, non-judgmental way. Because ever since we were born, we were told to like stop crying. We're told to like just behave ourselves when we have a temper tantrum. From all of that repeated conditioning, we grow up as adults emotionally constipated because we were never like allowed to express our emotions without some sort of backlash or punishment. At least that's what I went through, as a kid. Yeah, it's cool that breathwork can be that healing modality in case, people are more apprehensive about going into plant medicine, delving into that realm, because that realm can be a lot, you know? I mean, this in itself was a lot, and it felt like a trip in itself. For me, I mainly just felt it very physically. Tingly all over, vibrations all over, a lot of tenseness in certain parts of my body. And I think that's where like my anger was being stored. But yeah, it was just a overall really cool experience getting to just be so raw and open and vulnerable, expressing my emotions in that way around so many people. And there was a moment where we all just like held hands while we were like laying down, and like that was super cool. Like just holding like another woman's hand who I had no idea who this person was, never talked to her in my life, and just connecting to her as a human, like human to human. And in that moment, I'm like, bro, we're all the same. We all want the same things. We all want to feel connected, feel a sense of belonging. We all feel even like shame and embarrassment, and we all go through the same things. No one is exempt of that, no matter where you're at. Even the people you think you like really look up to, they're not exempt from any of that either. And so it's just really like really cool reminder. And yeah, I definitely recommend it for sure. He's doing some good work out there in the world, and it's really cool to see such a wide, diverse range of people that come to these events that like are from all walks of life and all ages. I think the youngest person there is like 14, and it's just really cool to see that people are like actually curious about healing, and like it's becoming online now. So I love to see that, and I'm really excited and optimistic for the future, even though it looks kind of bleak right now with everything that's going on. But you know, it's an important time, it's an exciting time, and yeah,